What does this even mean? Well, for one, this means that the game has a damn near 100% chance of coming out in 2025.
The world is a vampire sent to drain.
Yep, not only did I say this 4 days back, which is where that beginning clip that you just saw is from, but now that Randy Pitchford, the CEO of Gearbox, has let the cat out of the bag, it's been confirmed that Borderlands 4 is releasing in 2025. Now, how is this the case if Gearbox or any of the Borderlands accounts haven't said a word? Well, just yesterday, while doing some media for the upcoming Borderlands movie releasing on August 9th, Randy Pitchford, aka CEO Goomball, ended up spilling the beans all over the place while speaking to Games Radar. And ladies and gentlemen, this greasy bastard just confirmed the inevitable. So, just to get straight into it, this is what Randy Pitchford had to say in regards to the next Borderlands game. In the same interview, Pitchford also teased another Borderlands game, suggesting that its announcement too might be imminent. Quote, "I'm confident that our fans are going to be very, very happy with the next video game project when we are ready to announce it. And I will tell you that we're not going to be making people wait for a long time before we announce it." So, what does that sound like to you? In all seriousness, what does it sound like? Well, you know what? Don't even answer that just yet. Let's go ahead and roll a clip from back in 2023, which was my very first discussion video on Borderlands 4, where I gave my guess as to when the game would release. There's definitely no way we're seeing it this year, guys. I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we haven't even heard a drop from Gearbox about this game. All we know is that it's in development. And if I'm being honest, I don't even see it releasing in 2024. I could see it maybe being mentioned next year, but to be honest with you, I see this thing coming out in 2025. Wonderlands released back in Q1 of 2022. To me, it makes sense for this game to come out in Q1 of 2025. You heard that correct. I was right with my very first prediction. It's just always 6 to 7 years, dude. Borderlands 2 to 3 was the same way, and with the leaks a couple of days ago that did confirm that the game has been in development for 6 years, we know that for 100% certainty that Gearbox is getting close to announcing Borderlands 4. As Randy Pitchford would not say something like this if there wasn't actually a Borderlands game close to getting announced, meaning that it's very likely that this game could be getting revealed within the next few months, and it will go on to see a Q1 2025 release. Mixed with someone commenting on my video about the BL4 leaks, which actually I do now believe in retrospect with what Randy Pitchford has stated. But please take this with a grain of salt, as there's no way of confirming this, but this person said, "Obviously I'm just someone on the internet, so you don't have to believe this, but my friend works there in Texas, and it was originally supposed to launch in September. Now it's coming out around Valentine's Day of 2025. It involves flying of some kind too." He wouldn't go into any further detail. Enjoy. So obviously this could be anybody saying this, but I wanted to mention it because this was one of the first things that I thought of when I saw Randy talk about the next Borderlands game, making me honestly believe him. But as I said already, there really is no way of confirming that, but the detail about his friend working there in Texas also lines up, as Gearbox does operate half of their company out of there. And the detail of them shooting for a September 2024 release also lines up with everything that I've reported over the last half a year or so. And if Randy says that it's coming soon, Q1 of 2025 adds up. Keep in mind that this guy also did leave that comment before Randy Pitchford said all of this, meaning that there was no way that he could have known that Randy Pitchford was going to basically confirm that the next Borderlands game is coming down the pipeline just days after he left this comment. And then the last part, pretty interesting, saying that we might be getting some flying in the game. I assume maybe some flying vehicles, hopefully maybe a buzzard that we can drive. But then again, like I said, I want to let you all come up with your own conclusions about that, as only time is really going to tell. And I'll leave that comment conspiracy at that. For me, it just feels good to finally hear about the game a little bit. Even though he didn't say much, this was all that we needed to rest easy knowing that we are getting this game soon. And trust me, he would not say that it's not going to be long before they announce it if it wasn't going to be long before they announce it. Further adding to the validity of my statement 4 days ago where I said that the game was coming out in 2025 with no question about it. Now, with that being said, how do I personally feel about it? Well, I think that's a good amount of time for development, and even though I'm going to keep my expectations low because of the last couple of Borderlands games, I'd be lying if I said this doesn't excite me, because while I have been having a lot of fun playing the classics, I think we're all ready to try and dip our toes into the next game. Even though I know that a lot of you are more worried than you are excited, I think that we should try to remain as positive as we can up until we see the trailer, alongside how long the game has been in the pressure cooker for. That being 6 years, of course. But other than that, and well, Randy Pitchford said it's coming soon. Obviously, that's the topic of today's video. And yeah, it being on the Unreal Engine 4 doesn't really sit well with me, and I've already kind of discussed that in previous videos. I know that the BL3 and Wonderlands community disagree, and they say that that engine is fine. In my opinion and my personal experience, it was the worst in terms of performance out of the mainline games, with it still crashing and encountering bugs in both of the games that require a restart to fix. And yes, both Wonderlands and BL3. With BL3 apparently even recently having a new issue with the vault, where players are having their gear and weapons deleted. And with how Gearbox supports their old titles, sadly I don't think you're going to be able to get them back, which is unfortunate for those who do still play that game, as I could not imagine going into my vault on BL2 and all of my gear being gone. I would actually be so upset, you have no fucking idea. Luckily, we don't have to worry about this with BL2, as it has never had a mass deletion of players' vaults. And if this is the first you're hearing about it, just know that this was a bug in Borderlands 3 and they weren't just trying to delete players' weapons. And sure, BL2 had and still does have some issues, but damn man, like nothing that bad.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
But seriously, even though I don't play that game, I still do feel bad for those that have lost some of their gear. There should be no excuse for that. Also, we need to talk about the idea of them revealing BL4 in the post-credits scene of the Borderlands movie, as it's a popular fan theory that's been floating around for a while now, and I personally don't see it. Most people walk out when they know that it's over, and to be honest, I think most of the Borderlands movie showings are going to have empty theaters anyway. And revealing the game to a theater that has no one in it doesn't exactly sound like the best strategy to me. So no, I don't think that that's going to be the case. I just wanted to mention it really briefly. As for where the game will be announced, I have not one idea as of right now. Not any information pointing to where it might be or when. But it is clearly obvious that Borderlands 4 is coming in 2025. And that's going to do it for me today, guys. If you did enjoy this one, please think about pressing the like button. It helps out the channel and lets me know that you're liking what you're watching, as well as pressing subscribe if you have not already. But yeah, Borderlands 4 next year.